Hi guys! I wanted to talk all about The Fault in Our Stars movie, which is based on John Green's very well loved book. So I finally had a chance to go see this. I think it's been out for a few weeks now, and I just, as always, am a little bit behind on the movie watching bandwagon. When new releases come out, I just kind of go see them whenever I have a chance. So I went by myself again. I did do a video like this a few months back for the Vampire Academy movie, so if you watch that, you know I went alone to see the movie, and so I went alone again to see this one, which I think is actually better because you can kind of focus and get really into the movie if you're not, you know, worried about other people with you or you're not distracted. So I went alone again, but I have to say I loved the movie. It was so great. I thought it was very well executed, and that is why I wanted to do another movie discussion for it. I know it's a little bit late as far as these videos go, but I thought you guys would probably still be interested to hear my thoughts because, you know, initially I first read the book last year. I guess it's been a little bit over a year. I read it over the summertime last year, but initially when I first read the book, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I think I was just expecting so much from the book because it's so well loved and so hyped up that I liked it, but I wasn't blown away by it. So I ended up giving the book 4 out of 5 stars, and if you want to see my review on it from back then, I will post a link below. So going into this movie, I wasn't really, you know, too critical or had really any kind of high expectations as far as what things I was looking for, just because I wasn't as attached to the story. But I was so excited going into it because the trailer and kind of the sneak previews that came out a while back looked so great, and I was so excited. And then once it came out, everyone talked about how great it was, and so I was really excited going into this one. So it definitely exceeded all of my expectations as far as what I thought of it and how I enjoyed it. I actually filmed this video a couple times already, and it got so chaotic and just very unorganized, so hopefully it'll be a little organized now. But I just have a list of some things that I wanted to discuss, so I guess we'll just jump right in and get started. I want to talk about the casting first. I feel like with movies, actors and actresses are some of the most important parts, so I have to say I was very impressed with all of the character portrayals for this movie. I think all of the actors and actresses did a fabulous job. As far as the 3 main characters of Hazel, Augustus, and Isaac, I think all of their performances were fantastic. If I had to choose my favorite out of them, I would definitely say Shailene Woodley was my favorite as Hazel. I think that having to play that role would be very difficult for many reasons, but I think especially Hazel's character, she's very realistic and very, I don't want to say she's cynical, but she's just very realistic about her situation in the world, and she is a little bit closed off because of that, because she is, you know, a cancer patient, and she is concerned with how she's going to affect, you know, her family and people around her, and she just has kind of an outlook on life that I think is expected of somebody that is in that situation. So I think that role would be very difficult to play, and I think she does a fantastic job. I think she also has the right amount of kind of girliness and feminine kind of portrayal to be Hazel in her interaction with Gus, and I think she has a little bit of an insecurity because, you know, when Gus tells her she's beautiful, she says, "I'm not beautiful, like, why are you saying that?" And so I think Shailene's performance was phenomenal. I liked Ansel's portrayal of Augustus as well, and I have to say, I don't know if it's Augustus's character or if it's Ansel, but it was a little fun to watch because the portrayal was kind of quirky. Ansel as an actor reminds me of, he actually reminds me of somebody I know in real life, but he reminds me of this guy in class at school that you have in your class that is really funny, kind of goofy, and almost like, not childish, but just really like fun kind of kid at heart, and that just, you know, makes like really funny kind of like just lighthearted jokes and things like that, and that's kind of like Ansel reminds me of that. He's very youthful, I feel like, and his portrayal of Augustus was very kind of like characteristic of that, so I think he did a really nice job as Augustus. From what I can remember of Augustus, I think Augustus might have a little bit more kind of like swagger, if you will, but I think that Ansel did a fantastic job. Isaac I thought was hilarious too. I really wish Isaac was involved more, and I know from the storyline in the book he's there some, but he's not in the whole book, but his character is really funny, especially after his kind of traumatic experience. I feel like he still keeps the humor and he still keeps kind of his personality, and especially after his girlfriend and everything. I think that the three of them are hilarious and really, really good as far as a friendship circle. And even with the kind of cards that have been dealt to them in their life and kind of their, you know, unfortunate situations, they kind of embrace it and try to make it the best that they can, even though, you know, they are kind of all thinking the inevitable is going to happen one day. They do all, you know, try to make the most of it, and they bond over kind of being outcast, if you will, because no one, I feel like, would ever really understand that situation unless you're in it yourself. I feel like it's impossible to understand what that feels like. They really relate well to each other. A few other sideline characters. I loved Hazel's mother. I think the actress, and I didn't look up her name, but whoever played Hazel's mom did a fabulous job. She was just the perfect person to be a mom. She may be a mom in real life, she probably is, but she is like a very true mom character, especially with a daughter that is going through Hazel's situation. She's so compassionate and she loves Hazel and she would do anything for her, and she's just really fun and she tries to be cool and stuff, and I loved her. Hazel's dad I liked too, although it was a little weird because his or the actor that played his character plays Sam on True Blood, and I don't know if you guys have watched True Blood, but it is completely different than The Fault in Our Stars on many levels. And so his character as Sam was quite different than his character as her dad, but I thought he still kind of is able to embody a kind of compassionate, personable role, so he was really great. And another random character that I just thought was really cool was Peter Van Houten's or Houghton's assistant. She didn't have a huge role, but just seeing her in the Anne Frank house with them, and I liked that she was a redhead because I'm a redhead, so I always kind of pay more attention to redheaded people. But I thought she was a really good actress, and I feel like she was very friendly and genuine just as her personality. And I liked how charismatic her character was. As far as a general kind of perspective on the story, I think overall book to movie adaptation was spot on. I think that everything important from the book was portrayed very well in the movie. And like I said, it's been a while since I've read it, but from what I remember, there was nothing left out that was crucial. If there was anything, I need to read the book again, but I thought that the adaptation was great, and I know John Green was on set and he probably helped contribute a lot to that. It's always fantastic when the authors get to help kind of have a say because they wrote the book, so it's, you know, it can't be better than it would be with the author's contribution, in my opinion. Some of my favorite parts were just in general the texting back and forth between Hazel and Gus, which is a completely random thing, but I really liked how they showed the text message on the screen and how it showed, because I feel like the texting is a pretty vital part of the book. I mean, they do text a lot in the book, so that was really nice. The font looked really great. It was all very well done as far as visual goes for me. Some actual scenes. I loved the Amsterdam scene because they obviously left and went somewhere, and that was really great. The dinner was great with the stars and the champagne, the Dom Perignon. And then the Anne Frank house I really enjoyed too. I vividly remembered that scene where they climb up all the stairs, and it came back to me as I was watching, but I remember they get to the top and then they kiss and then everyone claps. So I was remembering that before it happened, and so I enjoyed seeing that. And then after dinner, the little romance scene was really cute. I started to feel the emotional strings pull when Augustus called her from the gas station, and when she got there and he was like crying, and it was, oh my gosh, I could not remember exactly when the thing that happens at the end happens, and so I wasn't sure if it was right after that, and so I started to get like, oh my gosh, and that was really, really traumatic, but obviously it didn't happen until later, so they kind of had a slow build of what was going to happen. If you read the book, you knew what was going to happen, and so it was really sad. And I have to be honest, maybe this is insensitive, but I'm not a sad movie fan, and I think maybe that's why initially I didn't love the book, but I'm not a sad movie fan. I typically shy away from sad movies, and to be honest, if I hadn't read the book and I had just seen the trailer of this, I probably would have just been like, I don't want to see that, that looks sad. But I think it was done really well. I left feeling, you know, that feeling where you're like, oh, like that's awful, like you wish it wouldn't happen, but I feel like the way they closed it off was still great. it tied together really well. And I don't want to say it was positive because that wasn't a positive thing, but it was like they did closure really well with Hazel and Augustus, and I just loved that. The okay thing I loved because honestly I don't remember a whole lot of that from the book, and I feel like it has a much better impact on screen than in the book, just seeing them say it back and forth, and I liked that a lot. I thought that was really cute. And then the last thing, this is random, but it's related to the movie, is I am obsessed with the Boom Clap song, and I think her name is Charlie or XCX, I can't remember exactly, but I first heard this song before I watched the movie, and I knew it was a part of the soundtrack, so it automatically triggers thoughts of the movie and the book to me, and I just loved it. And so after the movie, I immediately like played it in the car when I got out of the movie, and I'm obsessed with the song right now, you guys. I play it like every day now when I get ready or I drive in my car somewhere, and I definitely need to check out the soundtrack to see some of the other songs from the movie, but I loved that one, and I picked up on that one because they played it in the movie obviously, but it was when they first arrived to Amsterdam, and I love it, and it's just so good. So I guess that's all for today. I just wanted to share some thoughts and a little talk discussion on what I thought. Overall, I loved it. Definitely made me want to go back and reread it. So I might be cracking this baby open again. So feel free to share your thoughts below about the movie and how you thought it compared to the book and just what you think overall. I'd love to know because, like I said, I love movies and I think these types of videos are really fun. So I hope you guys liked this and that you're doing really well. I have a lot of really fun, exciting videos coming up soon. So I can't wait to share those with you guys. And I hope you're having an awesome summer, and I will see you all very soon. Bye, guys.